Greetings and welcome back to the shop. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I want to start this video and just try to communicate how humbling it is to have so many great people that are so supportive of what I'm trying to do here and offer just great input and support, and of course your views and likes, and for following the Car Doctor channel. It's just been a real blessing to me. It's over the last year. We've taken this thing from nothing to something pretty cool. So I just want to let you know I appreciate it. I get a lot out of doing this for you guys, and I get a lot out of the community that we're building here together. So thank you. Anyway, this video is going to be a supplementary video to a video that I've already produced on front suspension work. And what we have here is a 02 HD 2500 4x GMC on this one, similar to the Chevrolet. So this is a torsion bar front suspension on a four-wheel drive vehicle. And it's coming in for upper and lower ball joints that are shot. As you can see, and many people have commented over the last few months, that these rigs have no rust on them. And Alaska is a great place if you're a tech and you don't like rust like me. I've been spoiled. I would not want to move to the Rust Belt along the East Coast and deal with all that stuff. I wouldn't know how. I'd be lost. I do have a cutting torch. I hear you guys need that once in a while down there. But you can see these vehicles are free from rust. We don't typically use road salt on the roads. We do just snow removal and sanding primarily. So unless you're exposing your vehicle to some other corrosive agent like salt water, launching your boat or something like that, we don't see a lot of it. Of course, these newer rigs are kind of galvanized panels and some cool products that prevent that to begin with, but I know you guys down the Rust Belt, that's a different story. There's just not much you can do. So anyway, in my previous video, we showed how to replace the upper control arms and lower ball joints. We replaced the upper control arm as an assembly with the ball joint installed, and the lower ball joint we pressed out of the existing control arm. And a lot of folks asked, why didn't you just press out the ball joint, or why didn't you replace the lower control arm as well? And so there's a couple reasons why. I'm always trying to mix value added services for my customer. On some things I let them decide how they want to proceed, and I'll certainly make recommendations. But on a higher mileage vehicle like this, in Alaskan conditions, which again, we don't see road salt problems as much as rough roads that tend to take out the suspension components. So one thing I'm mindful of is the cost involved in the labor and the cost of the part. So in this case, the difference between an upper ball joint and an entire upper control arm assembly is negligible. But in the case of the lower control arm, it's a little bit more for the part. It's a big cast part in this application, and it's more labor intensive to replace that. I can't lift it the way it is now and replace that. I have to roll my jack back, support under the frame. You know, it's totally doable, but the labor time involved is higher. So I'm balancing preventative services with, cost-effective. Car Doctor Studios, this is Car Doctor. Oh, no thank you, we're not interested. No thanks, bye now. Oh man, I tell you, these telemarketers are just ruthless. Lately, it's just borderline harassing. There's this one guy who's been calling blowing out these Goodyear air hoses, just blowing them off the shelf, drop, ship them, delivered to your business. You can pay us COD when they show up. No, man, I got these Flexzilla hoses. I'm good, man. Oh, no, you need these. It's a great deal. Just would not stop, and I kind of messed with the guy. I've got a little fart machine, and he wasn't liking it. He's calling over like a 3-day period. He just won't stop. Well, he calls the other morning, and he'd obviously been thinking about this, and tells me, hey, I just wanted to give you a heads up. I've got those air hoses drop shipped. They're coming out to you, no charge, and I've gone ahead and thrown in a present for you. Put a little butt plug in the box, and I hope you enjoy it. And he hangs up the phone. And it was hilarious. It was hilarious. I don't know how those guys do their job, but this guy was pretty good. I hope he calls back again someday. Not really. In my assessment, I'm considering, are the bushings loose at all or cracked? Are they in a state of wear and tear that are going to warrant replacing the whole arm? In the case of these lowers, the bushings just look beautiful. There's a little minor cracking on the upper. And again, since I'm weighing the cost of the parts and labor, I'll leave it up to the customer to make the final call, but I'm probably going to go with just upper arms and lower ball joints. Here's an example of the wear on the upper ball joint creating movement on this vehicle. You can see the movement of the upper joint. There's movement within the ball joint itself caused by wear of the ball and the joint that it sits in. That's very unsafe, and when that completely fails, of course, the knuckle or hub will become disconnected from the control arm and possibly leave the vehicle entirely with the wheel and brake system and everything. And one more thing to note is people have commented, and there's some additional information. Some applications, you cannot press the ball joint out. The control arm will not facilitate that. They're either welded in or non-serviceable, made as a non-serviceable unit that will require replacing the entire control arm. This particular application, that's not the case. However, it is on some rigs. So you can look in the application guide or call your parts supplier and have them look up whether your application will allow for the replacement of just the joint, which can be pressed in with the ball joint press, or replacement of the entire arm assembly, which in this case you wouldn't need a ball joint press. And even for pressing in the bushings, if you're going to replace those and the ball joint, when people are coming to me, they're paying for some additional labor to do that, and the parts cost associated with it. And these modular one-piece units are going to be a much better value and save you the labor, time, even your time is worth something. So all things to consider. So anyway, I will put a link in this video to the video that I mentioned beforehand that shows the complete process of replacing the upper arm and lower ball joint on a similar vehicle. Another thing I'll note is I always try to use quality parts because I appreciate my customers and I want them to be safe, and I want them to have value-added parts that are going to give longevity of service and give you a bigger bang for your buck. And I always go with Moog parts whenever possible. As far as the supply up here in Alaska allows, I will always go for the Moog part over anything else, just in my honest opinion. Being a tech in the field and a business owner who has to stand behind what I do, I do not have a problem getting behind this product. It's a quality product, and they've proven over the years it's made in the U.S. So there's just nothing but good about this product, and I totally stand behind it. So in this case, I'm going to do the Moog uppers and the Moog lower ball joint kit, all quality stuff. Get this thing back on the road. Well, once again, I appreciate you watching, and until next time, wish you good luck with your repairs. Have a good one.